Hey family, it's African on Saran Call, and I am back at you with another video. So today, family, we are going to discuss how Donald Trump, as your president, has created an action to end crime and disorder on America's streets. Yeah, he could have started back in 2021, or was it? Yeah, or 2020, whenever those January Sixers went out there and climbed up the Capitol like a bunch of enraged monkeys, white monkeys, it would have been well to start there, but he didn't. But anyway, let's go. It says today, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to restore order to American cities and remove vagrant individuals from our streets, redirecting federal resources towards programs that tackle substance abuse and returning to the acute necessity of civil commitment. The order directs the Attorney General to reverse judicial precedents and end consent decrees that limit state and local governments' ability to commit individuals on the streets who are a risk to themselves and others. Family, and know that this is very dangerous. This here is very dangerous. So because you may be fell on hard times, as many people are doing right now, in fact, I just read yesterday that in certain particular counties, they have now, since I think like last year, between last year and this year, they have over a 37, 38% um, unemployment rate. So people are losing their jobs and losing their homes and things like that. So now the government can come in and say, "Oh, you lost your job in your home. Okay, so you a danger to yourself, and we're gonna have to take you into custody." And this is the kind of stuff. And see, the problem is when they were implementing things like this for Black people, everybody else was silent. But now it's not only going to be implemented because look, there's a lot of white people that are homeless as well. I just went to New Orleans, and there. I mean, when I tell you there were so many white homeless people, I was surprised. There was this park we visited. I can't think of the name of the park right now, but it's where all of the horse and carriage and buggies and people like that wait to pick up people, and it's a tourist attraction because a lot of people were there. I saw so many homeless people sleeping in the park, a lot of white Caucasian homeless people. But see, we know we are in a time now where, these things won't just be carried out on Black people, they'll also be carried out on everybody. But it says the order requires the Attorney General to work with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and the Secretary of Transportation to prioritize grants for states and municipalities that enforce prohibitions on open illicit drug use, urban camping, and loitering. Now listen, family, urban camping and loitering. So, in other words, if you are sleeping in your car, Okay, if you are one of those van life people, you know what I'm saying, or somebody who maybe went and brought a trailer, you know, a small trailer or whatever, instead of living in an apartment, you know what I'm saying, or a small house, they can classify you as being a danger to yourself and others. So it says an urban squatting and track the location of sex offenders. The order redirects funding to ensure that individuals camping on the streets and causing public disorder and that are suffering from serious mental illness or addiction are moved into treatment centers, assisted outpatient treatment, or other facilities. So, you mean to tell me that they will, which I don't have an objection. I mean, we should nobody should be depending on, you know, a system of welfare, food stamps or Medicaid or any of that, because you can't trust this government. So why would you uh, put yourself in a situation where you are you know, relying on them for anything? Because, you know, we know that, you know, a government can feed you, but they can also starve you. You know, so they can one day say, "Hey, we shutting down all these programs," and then you become dependent on it, and then there you are, you're hungry, and you can't feed yourself. You know, so instead of them taking proactive measures to help you be able to sustain, they just give you these resources. And then when they say, okay, we're not giving you anything anymore, then there you go. Um, so, anyway, it says the order ensures um, discretionary grants for substance use disorder prevention, treatment, and recovery. Do not fund drug injection sites or illicit drug use. The order stops sex offenders who receive homelessness assistance from being housed with children and allows programs to exclusively house women and children. And we really have to be careful with this because what if the woman is married? You know what I'm saying? What if she has a husband? And so, you know, and I have seen that situation. I've actually witnessed that. I have seen where um, a family will go to a shelter and they'll say the husband can't stay because, you know, it's just a shelter for women and children. And so, I mean, I don't understand why everything in America is geared at separating the family. Do you notice that? Do you notice how everything is geared at removing the men? And let me tell you why that is. That is because if we remove the men, if they remove the men, then they have the women and children are, you know, they can use them to their will as they want to. And so that is why the attack on, you know, the male or the patriarchy in the families. But anyway, it goes on to say that they are trying to make America safe again. America was never safe. I don't know. I don't know, you know, these people, the perception that they have of America and of America being such a safe and you know, a beautiful place, and it's great to raise your children, and you know, you can leave your doors open at night and leave the kids toys on the porch, on the front porch, which is what my parents did when we were coming up. And we you know, lived in an all black neighborhood. I had a mom and a dad, and yeah, we used to leave our toys out on the front lawn and come back out. They'd be there and nobody would have touched them and everything. We lived in a very nice black community, you know, and there are still nice black communities. Now, we have a few of these stragglers straggling in from God knows where they coming from, you know, that come into the community, and y'all call them YNs. I'm just gonna call them I don't know, you know, tethers, because you know the majority of the black community is not like that. but we really have to work on that, you know. But anyway, you know, so they want to make America great again. It says in March 2025, President Trump signed an executive order to beautify Washington, D.C., the national park areas, and to clear the homeless encampments from all of that federal land. My thing is, you know, they would, I would imagine that they should build or develop or create some kind of programs where homeless people will have some place to live uh, instead of uh you know, building jails, because in reality that's what they're doing. They are building jails to jail people and to house people, and homeless people are a target, and a lot of those homeless people are veterans. Not all, but I'm saying a lot are veterans. Some are people just down on their luck, you know. It is time for America, as much taxes as we pay in America, they have no problem sending billions over to Israel. They have no problem sending billions over to Ukraine. Okay? They have no problem with that. Every single year, they are sending money to other countries. Yet they have people in their own country that have served, many who have served their country, okay, went to war to protect our borders, and they have no place for these people to. They cannot build homes, but they can build prisons. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's just time, family. It's time that this whole slate is wiped clean. America is nothing what it was, and many of you are noticing. Uh, and if you're not noticing, then you are asleep. That in the last, even the last 10 years, think about it. Even the last 10 years, you know, you think about when everything really seemed to change. Think about it. You know, recently things changed, and I'm talking about in the last 4 or 5 years. Things changed where you couldn't make your own medical decisions, if you know what I mean, wink, wink. You could not choose to have a discussion with your medical professional to say, you know, I'm gonna try to practice holistic therapies and drink my loose leaf teas and do some walking, a little exercise daily, and try to eat a little healthier, and you know, just get my chakra together and get everything. How many, a few years ago, it came down to you couldn't make those decisions yourself. You know, there were people wanting to make those decisions for you. uh we have to really be careful, because America is headed into a state that I think it's not going to be able to come back from. uh I really don't, because there's a lot of things that's going on right now, and all they need is another pandemic, okay? And you know, forcing people to do stuff against their will. Family, it ain't pretty no more. It was never pretty for us, for Black Americans, but it's not pretty for many others right now. It's really not. But family, I mean, you know, tell me what you think. You know, they can come up with all kind of ways to you know, prohibit people from living peacefully. Okay, you know, whether you living in your car, what difference does it make if you live in your car? If that's where you want to live, I'm not saying, I'm saying for those that don't want to live in their car, then yes, programs should be created to assist people to you know, get out of their vehicle and get into a more stable you know, home environment. Now some people will say, hey, my or my car is a stable home environment. This is what I have to use right now. And to be honest with you, I don't blame those people because I mean, right now between paying mortgage and bills and food and anything else, I mean, it's like really gone. It's really gone up. So people are finding ulterior or motives or different ways to live and to survive, and now they're gonna say you can't be homeless. You have a mental health condition because you're home. It's getting really bad here, and you white folks better pay attention because yeah, it's getting really bad. But family, I thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe, like, share, and thank you so much for coming back. All right, family, have a good one. Peace. Take care. Bye bye.